Hey, Wood-Psyche again. Hope everyone's doing well in the YouTube world and the real world as well. Yeah, I got a new piece here. It's a pine knot this time. I kind of decided to give the cottonwood bark a break for a bit. But anyway, this pine knot came from the property I had that got burned up, and it's one of the few pieces I have left that remain from the property. But now I collect the pine knots farther away, up in the Cascade Range now, since most of that area burned up and it's just like unsalvageable, I'd say, for the most part in that area. But yeah, this is a really nice knot because it's really weathered and it's got a nice shape to it. So yeah, I'm using the obligatory saber-tooth burrs here. They're pretty nice. They don't have a lot of buildup from the pitch on the knots, surprisingly. And if they do get buildup, they're easy to clean off with some kind of solvent, along with a brass brush. But this knot's going to be a classic wood spirit with a beard and a smile on his face. Kind of a crooked smile, not, straight across smile. I'm going to have some curves to the mouth to give it some dynamic. Compared to the cottonwood bark, pine knots are a bit denser, and I think they're actually easier to work with because you don't have to be as mindful about a heavy hand when you're using the power tools. But on the other hand, cottonwood bark carves a lot quicker, so the results are a lot faster. So there's a trade-off between the two. Yeah, with the pine knots, you either have the choice of either side to work with. Compared to the cottonwood bark, you only use one side of the bark, which is the outward facing side away from the trunk. Because the other side, I've never seen anyone carve from the inside out. So in that case, you're limited somewhat with the bark as well. So yeah, I'm just going around the face here with the saber-tooth spherical burr, a coarse grade, which is green color. But yeah, I'm using the Stylo Plus with this saber-tooth burr. It's nice because of zero mobility issues when you're working with this tool. It's almost really lightweight. Featherweight, I'd say. You're not shackled by flex shafts or anything like that, as I mentioned before. Yeah, I just continually work around the face, looking for issues. It's a constant process. After you get out of the rough out stage, you're always like making minor adjustments here and there. This is the most relaxing part as well, I'd say. The hardest part, I think, is the rough out stage. Well, you're deciding where to put the eyes and nose and mouth and stuff like that. And then after that, it's just all downhill, it seems like. The thing about carving is you shouldn't be too scared to push the limits, or don't be timid about taking too much off. Just go for it, because you can always get another piece if you mess up, or you can always repair something as well and modify the mistake more or less. I don't follow rules, about spacing between the eyes, nose, and mouth. Like, the wood dictates where the placement of the anatomical parts on the face are positioned. Yeah, here I'm using the 225 flex shaft that Mike LaFleur donated, and then I think it's on a Dremel 359, if I'm not mistaken. I got all the tools like listed in the kit list at the end of the video if you want to check them out. But anyway, that was a tool that was donated by Mike. Again, big shout out. Thanks, Mike, for that. Can't say it enough. There's a lot of nice people out there. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, this is an older style flex shaft, and it's all metal, and it's almost pencil thin, and it's really kind of nice. And they don't make them like that anymore. They're mostly all plastic these days. Nothing against plastic and stuff, but it's always good to feel like some piece of steel in your hands. Yeah, I plan on bouncing around between the cottonwood bark and the pine knots here and there, just to have some variety in the medium. Instead of using one type of wood all the time, I like to experiment. I have to say, though, I had some tree of heaven wood that just like pretty much difficult to work with, I think, from the fact that it wasn't fully dry yet, so that caused some problems in itself. This particular piece is not based on any real photograph, except for the fact that I use reference photos time to time to get the parts down, like around the mouth. Sometimes you can do it by memory, but after a while you don't need photographs that much, but I mean, it's good when you're trying to bring out a certain kind of motion or something like that. Look at the muscles on the face, more or less. Another thing to mention is the beard's almost all done for me, because the natural wood appears beard-like, so I don't have to do much as far as beard carving goes. So that's the nice thing about these pine knots as well. A lot of the work's already done for you. You just have to put the face in, and make sure you put it in the proper place as well. Usually, like where I put the eyes here, it's right below the natural hat or brow, from where the branch met the tree trunk in its former life. This was a quicker kind of carving I did this time. I think since I was using the cottonwood bark, gave me some practice, and it became a little bit quicker. And I sped up the video as well too, but this one just flowed together for some reason. You have pieces like that sometimes, where everything just drops into place naturally, and this is one of them. Oftentimes, like you'll run across like a piece that's like very problematic, and it just happens sometimes. We're almost wrapping up this video. I just wanted to mention at the end of this bit, I got like a little hack on how to do some sanding on faces that are irregular surfaces. A little trick here that I could pass along to you guys, so check it out. Hope you guys all enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, here's a cool little trick. You just take some rigid foam, cut it to size, then you're going to glue a piece of sandpaper to the back. Right here I'm just cutting the shape out for the foam. Make sure you use a sharp utility knife or something like that. Otherwise you'll have some jagged edges on it. So right here, I'm going to cut a piece of sandpaper that'll fit perfectly on top of this piece of foam. Any kind of sandpaper will do, depending on what kind of grit you want to use. I use this 3M spray-on adhesive. It's pretty strong. I'm just going to do a dry mount technique here where I spray both sides, like the foam, and then the back side of the sandpaper as well. Let it dry for a bit. So you can get that adhesive any place, any store. I don't know if Dollar General carries it, but any hardware store definitely carries it. So yeah, after a few minutes or something, tacky dry, just put the two pieces together and then you got a perfect sanding tool right there. Cool thing is the foam conforms to irregular surfaces and it comes in handy for especially faces. Hey, thanks a bunch for stopping by. We'll see y'all later.